start. Our session is on CV writing, and our instructor for today's session is Miss Maham. So, Miss Maham has joined us. Uh, Floor is open for you, ma'am. I'm audible to you.
Yes, you're audible. So I'm Mahum as displayed on the screen, and today I'm going to be your instructor. I'm the director of operations at Research Minds, and today we are going to go forward with an interesting topic that is actually really important in our lives. Let me just share the slides for us to begin. Give me a second. Is the screen visible?
Yes, Miss Maham.
All right. Chalo, let's do our first slide. So curriculum vitae is basically CV writing. CV. तो first letters अगर आप देख सकते हैं तो first letter for curriculum C and then we take a first letter B, so that's basically CV. CV वो CV हम लोग अपनी professional lives में बनाते हैं and then we send it on to our companies or our universities or for scholarships and everything. तो हमारी professional lives में a CV is a very important thing, and that's why I think today's session is really important. Let us go on to
Ma'am,
the
sorry, can you make it bigger and make slideshow?
slideshow. I thought मैंने इसलिए नहीं करी थी because I wouldn't be able to see chat box, but it's okay. चलो, let me do this. Okay, is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, okay, so today's learning objects, हमारे पास 4 learning objects हैं आज. तो first, recognize the importance of writing a good CV. ठीक है? एक अच्छी सीवी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट होती है हमारी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में बिकॉज आप जब एक एप्लीकेशन अपने भेजते हो उसमें आप सीवी भेजते हो तो आपका जो एम्प्लॉयर होता है वो आपकी सीवी को देख के जज करता है अच्छा दिस पर्सन हैज दिस स्किल्स तो हम इसलिए उसको हायर करेंगे आपकी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ के बारे में आपकी स्किल्स के बारे में हर चीज आपकी सीवी के थ्रू पोर्ट्रे होती है ठीक है और उसके साथ-साथ इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ प्रूफ रीडिंग, स्पेलिंग्स के लिए पंक्चुएशन, ग्रामर और सब कुछ बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट होता है क्योंकि आप अपना मैसेज सही से आगे नहीं पहुँचा पाएँगे अगर आपके पास सही स्पेलिंग, सही पंक्चुएशन, ग्रामर या कोई स्ट्रक्चर में गलती आ रही है तो आप अपना मैसेज अपने बारे में सही पोर्ट्रेयल नहीं दे पाएँगे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक तो ये आपके बारे में जाएगा कि यू आर unprofessional which obviously you don't want because I am pretty sure that most of you who are doing this mentorship right now are very professional in life and want to succeed. So you want to create a CV with no errors. And second of all, it'll be easy to comprehend a CV if punctuation वगैरह में कोई गलती ना हो, ठीक है? तो द थर्ड पॉइंट इज सीवी के थ्रू आप अपनी भी स्किल्स को थोड़ा सा ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हैं आप अपनी सीवी बनाएंगे ना एक दफा देन यू अगर रिव्यू इट आप कहेंगे अच्छा मेरे पास ये स्किल्स हैं ये पर्सनल क्वालिटीज है तो मैं इस जॉब के लिए ज्यादा सूटेड हूँ उसके लिहाज से फिर आप लिंक्डइन पे जाएंगे आप दूसरी सोर्सेस पे जाएंगे आप अपने वेबसाइट्स पे जाएंगे वहां अप्लाई करेंगे तो आपको रियलाइजमेंट हो कि अच्छा मैं इस पोजीशन के लिए बेटर सूटेड हूँ इस कंपनी में तो that's why CV is helpful on a personal basis as well. फिर in the end after the session आप अपनी CV लिख पाएंगे इंशाल्लाह and yeah you will continue on uh, doing a very good professional life. अच्छा let us move on. Let me just click it. Okay. Okay. Sorry, this just went on a bit आगे. हाँ. Okay. So curriculum vitae और CV इसकी लैटिन वर्ड है ये vitae. ठीक है, इसका मतलब होता है कि it means the course of my life. अच्छा, लाइफ कुड बी अ पर्सनल लाइफ एज वेल, कि मैं यहाँ ट्रैवलिंग की, मैंने वहां की, लेकिन दिस पार्ट ऑफ योर CV wouldn't highlight your personal life as much. The course of my life would mostly be concentrated on your प्रोफेशनल लाइफ. आपने क्या स्किल्स बिल्ड किया, आपने क्या सीखा, कहाँ एक्सपीरियंस आपका क्या था, ऑल ऑफ दिस अकॉम्प्लिशमेंट्स, एवरीथिंग, ऑल ऑफ दैट. बिटे और वीटा, इनमें डिफरेंस यही है कि वन इज प्लूरल एंड द अदर इजंट. Vitae is plural and vita isn't. So that's the only difference between the two. A curriculum vitae, a CV, is a longer, ठीक है, than a resume. Is generally longer if it's compared to a resume, and it's just more detailed hypnosis. इसलिए थोड़ा सा लंबी हो जाती है, लेकिन but still it's preferred even if it's longer, ज़्यादा long ना हो. ठीक है, एक पेज preferred होता है, बट यू कैन गो ऑन टिल 2 पेज अगर आपको लग रहा है कि अच्छा मेरे पास कुछ चीजें हैं जो नहीं हो पा रही हैं एट 1 पेज में, तो आप 2 पेजेस भी कर सकते हो. Why? In my opinion, honestly, 1 page is preferred because when people get applications for a job position, there are a lot of applications. और एक-एक करके सबको review करना, they'll have sometimes the HR and whoever is hiring, they just review your CV, skim and scan करके. ठीक है, if it's longer, they're gonna lose interest. They're gonna be like, यार ये बहुत लंबा है. They won't read it properly. So you're supposed to be very concise, very clear, and one page में आप सब कुछ अपना message अगर कर सको, um, you know, uh, portray कर सको, that would be amazing. So that's why 1 page is preferred. Why a CV? आप अपने एम्प्लॉयर को बता सकते हो मेरे पास ये स्किल्स हैं, तो मुझे प्लीज हायर कर लें. आप अपने आप को सेल कर रहे हैं सीवी के थ्रू. सो इट बी अ गुड, इट्स अ गुड वे टू शो योरसेल्फ. और ऑर्गेनाइज करता है आपके फ्यूचर करियर को. सारे आपकी इम्पोर्टेंट जो आपकी अकॉम्प्लिशमेंट्स थी सब ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं. देन यू नो वेयर यू स्टैंड. अगर आप किसी को इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, तो यू नो व्हाट टू स्टे, व्हाट नॉट टू स्टेट थ्रू योर सीवी. एंड आपकी फ्यूचर गोल्स को सेट करता है, जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बोला था कि कहाँ अप्लाई करना है, कहाँ नहीं अप्लाई करना है, सब कुछ सेट करता है. रिकमेंडेशन लेटर्स और अप्लाइंग पोजीशंस के लिए हेल्प करता है. रिकमेंडेशन लेटर्स, जब आप यूनिवर्सिटी में जा रहे हैं, रिकमेंडेशन लेटर्स. रिफरल्स, जब आप लाइक जॉब के लिए भी अप्लाई करो, रिकमेंडेशन लेटर्स की कभी बार जरूरत पड़ती है. सो ऑल ऑफ दैट, आप उनको सीवी भेजते हो, वो आपके बारे में, आप उनको और पता चलता है आपके बारे में. ठीक है, एंड देन आपके लिए अच्छी रिकमेंडेशन लिख सकते हो, डिटेल रिकमेंडेशन लिख सकते हैं अगर आपकी सीवी अच्छी हो. ठीक है, और ग्रांट और वर्ड एप्लीकेशंस भी कुछ रिक्वायर करती हैं. सो इट्स गुड फॉर यू टू हैव अ सीवी prepared. Just general setup suggestions are these. आपका font सेम होना चाहिए थ्रूआउट, वरना थोड़ा सा वो अनऑर्गेनाइज लगेगा, अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. आपकी सीवी तो सेम फॉन्ट होना चाहिए थ्रूआउट. 12 point is the best. 12 point universally is suggested. And regular paper होना चाहिए जब अगर आप प्रिंट कर रहे हैं. अंडरलाइनिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, आप बोल्ड वगैरह यूज कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अंडरलाइनिंग नहीं करें. ठीक है, एंड वन साइडेड होना चाहिए. कुछ ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि कुछ चीजें सेंटर लाइंड है, कुछ चीजें लेफ्ट साइड, राइट साइड. वन साइड होना चाहिए. सही है. एंड देन मार्जिन्स 1 होना चाहिए ऑल अराउंड, लेफ्ट राइट अप एंड डाउन. एंड बोल्डिंग, और अगर आपको कोई चीजें हाईलाइट करनी है ना, जैसे अगर आपको कहना अच्छा ये चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, प्लीज डोंट मिस इट आउट, देन यू शुड नॉट अंडरलाइन. वी रिकमेंड that you use the bold option, कि bold को करें आप टेक्स्ट को, और आप उसको कैप्स में लिख लें. ठीक है, हर पेज को नंबर करें। माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड या जहाँ पे भी आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे आई एम प्रीटी श्योर there's going to be an option for you to number your pages. So just do that option, number your pages and pick a font you like, but be professional with it. Number your pages is going to be amazing. Um, yeah, please mute your mics. All right, वरना वो एक echo करने लगता है. Anyway, आगे don't use graphics. ठीक है, don't use graphics because it just creates a distraction and it just creates an unprofessional look. So you're not supposed to use graphics. और अपना पूरा नाम हर पेज में आप बताएं because you know अगर शुरू में कर रहे हैं तो एंड में जाते जाते they're gonna be like अच्छा we like this person then may forget your name whatsoever, so just highlight your name on every page. ठीक है. Let me just read the comments that you guys have put in the chat. Yeah, okay. Atik has answered that question for you. We would check your CVs and give feedbacks accordingly at the end of the session. All right. Let me just okay. So 5 tips for ACB are you should be clear. ठीक है, आप क्लियर होना चाहिए, कंसाइज होना चाहिए, कंप्लीट होना चाहिए एंड कंसिस्टेंट होना चाहिए, करंट होना चाहिए. What all of this means, I think it's very already लिखे हुए points are very self-explanatory, but clear and concise होना बहुत important है, वरना अगर क्लियर एंड कंसाइज नहीं होंगे, एक तो आपका जो एम्प्लॉयर होगा या जो भी आपको आपकी रिव्यू कर रहा है सीवी वो सेकंड डबल गेस करने लगेगा. दे वुड डाउट योर सीवी एंड दे विल बी लाइक अच्छा if it's like this then why not that, if it's not clear and थोड़ा सा unorganized हो रहा है, so don't let that doubt overshadow. And if you're also clear and concise, then the CV, अच्छा आप CV को देख रहे हैं, आप clear and concise हैं, the one who is reviewing your CV wouldn't get confused and wouldn't um get bored. ठीक है, वो कहेंगे अच्छा ये बहुत लंबा लिखा, if something's very long आप आधा पढ़ेंगे फिर आप कहेंगे यार बाद में पढ़ेंगे, if you're clear and concise they would stay on track and want to read your entire CV. Okay. And complete, do not miss out anything in your professional experience because obviously you did something and you need to highlight that because it's your hard work. Consistent, please अपना जो font size है, font के style है, एक professional सा font style pick करेगा, ऐसे नहीं कि it's unprofessional. And yeah, also don't use cursive, I would say, क्योंकि कहीं पे when you do italics, right, तो वो थोड़ा सा mixture हो जाता है. I would say don't use cursive वाले जो fonts होते हैं. Use a simple classical font that looks professional. All right. और एक ही throughout consistency होनी चाहिए. You have to use one type of font, one type of size, and everything to throughout. Okay, and keep it up to date. ठीक है, even if you aren't sending your CV to anyone, just keep it up to date ताकि बाद में जाके आपको मसले ना हो. ठीक है. अच्छा, रेज्यूमे वर्सेस वीटे. ठीक है, रेज्यूमे वर्सेस वीटे में ये है कि it's short, the CV, and content जो हाँ, it's short and the resume can take as long as it can, and it's inclusive, summary of all skills, experiences, and जो वो होता है resume, no, sorry, for the VTE is to get an interview and employment, and the resume is for promotion and tenure, grants, specialist positions and awards. So yeah, these are the certain differences between the two. All right. So you can elongate your resume as much as you want, but keep the weightage a little short. But I would also recommend one thing, that if you are making your resume, itna bhi lamba na karega, because at the end of the day, you want the other person to be interested in you. and you're selling yourself. So if you make something long, they're gonna get bored of you. So make it concise. And what is in the CV? A summary of your educational, academical background, teaching experience, research experience, publications, presentations, awards, honors, affiliations, and other details. All of these are included in your CV. Well, I guess this is self-explanatory. Yesai list, if you want to take a picture, you can. Yesai list, and it's very important that you include all of these. And how do you format a curriculum vitae? Um, that's first of all, you're supposed to. This is a sample. ठीक है उसमें ऐसे appropriate format के साथ ये सारी चीजें आनी चाहिए ठीक है. Your contact information is really important. Your name, your address, telephone number, cell number, and email number. एक तो you're supposed to tell them who you are, and then you're supposed to tell them how you're gonna be contacted. Personal information may you're supposed to have your uh, date of birth, place of birth, citizenship, visa status, and gender. The optional personal information and marital space, spouse, name, children, but it's not used most of the time, but it's optional. You can put it down if you want. Employment history होती है listed in chronological order, ठीक है, from current to पुरानी वाली. Include position details, dates, work history, academic positions, research and training. Include all of that what matters. Education में include dates, majors, details of degrees, training and certification. High school भी include करें, university भी, graduate school भी, post.
I'm audible. Kindly text करते हैं मेरी आवाज़ आपको. I think Miss Maham का connection का कोई issue है.
So,
Yes, ma'am. You can carry on.
all right, give me 5 minutes to set up the presentation again.
Sure, sure, sure.
फिर दादा मुझको जाके अंदर पता नहीं क्या क्या कह रही थी कहते मैं नहीं अंदर की आई थी
Okay, let's get back on track. So we were on this slide, I suppose, where we had completed it. Okay, so all of this is all important. Your education में जो भी सब कुछ आ रहा है, that all that is important. All right. So next is tips on the education section. आपकी first, you're supposed to include what your recent education was. ठीक है, if you did your PhD recently, so include that. One second, give me a minute. Internet में पर समझा. Okay, it's fixed now. Okay, so include your most recent schooling first. ठीक है, फिर उसको go on to whatever you did before. So I mean, for most people, I think high school will be the last. ठीक है, तो वो include करें. And then आप अपना include करें diploma distinction. अपने school के नाम please सही लिखेगा. I know if it's been like 20 years to your school, whatever, but you need to get your school's name right. ठीक है, research करें and get it right. All right, and then degree certifications जो होती हैं वो आप लिखें. ठीक है, तो अपना टाइम स्पेंड नहीं लिखें. That's recommended for you not to write that. And list the thesis or the dissertation titles. ठीक है, तो वो सब. Okay, let's go forward. So tips on honors and awards का section है कि first show your recent ones obviously, and then go on to your we're gonna also, if you're talking about samples, it's not in this PPT, but I can search you. I have this one CD that I can show you guys, and I have this other suggestions as well. So after we're done with this, I'm gonna show you a sample, and you're gonna get an idea. But right now we're talking about basics. Okay, what all you're supposed to avoid and what all you're supposed to write. And then after that, you're gonna see how it's, displayed. अच्छा, list your recent ones first. Honors awards, उसके titles, उसके dates आप सब करें ताकि confusion ना हो और कोई doubt ना cast हो उसके employer के ऊपर कि अच्छा अगर इसने ये word लिया तो कब लिया. They're gonna doubt you. Don't let them doubt you, okay? And then afterwards, go back to your go back to undergrad, but not before. ठीक है, आप high school के awards, they're not, honestly speaking, high school के awards are not preferred to be written. They're not as important as undergrad and forward. So बस undergrad से पहले के awards के बारे में नहीं लिखें. Undergrad से जो आपको awards मिले, undergraduate degree के बाद से जो भी awards मिले उसके बारे में लिखें. ठीक है, and only academic or professional awards. उसके अलावा don't write other awards. Those are not important for the employer as much. Scholarships also count, so you can also write about that. Got a scholarship anywhere in your undergrad or whatever, write about that. And then professional qualification certifications, computer skills, वो सब लिखनी होती है end में जाके. Awards, publications, books, professional memberships, interest भी आ जाता है end में. And I'm sorry, these 2 points are repeated, but yeah, all of these, the books that you published, by the way, the awards you got, the publications you got. ठीक है, it's all about you here. ठीक है, and you can write all about this at the end after your experience is done. Okay. We went ahead. Okay. Tips on professional experience wala section. Usme includes anything that you were paid to do or was extensive and regular volunteer work. Agar you got salary, you were there entirely, then you can include that in your professional experience, and only list items relevant to academic work in the professional experience. And list most recent first. I think this point applies to everything. List your most recent ones first, always. And yeah. And it's supposed to be for every section first. This the lab and the director, investigator, or your mentor, or anyone, if you're listing a research work. Okay. Forward. Tips on extracurricular and volunteer experience. Again, list most recent first, and then this tends to be a long list, so please be careful. Write down everything that's most notable. Don't write down everything. Choti moti cheez. I mean, you can kind of ignore the choti moti cheezein, but if you feel like acha, these are very important, then write that down. If it's meaningful to you, then write it down. But keep it concise, keep it relevant. Okay, the things that actually made an impact, write that. Okay, and certain organizations also go here कि अगर आपने किसी NGO में certain organized NGO में आपने काम किया, so you cannot write about that. Go ahead and write about that as well. Okay. Tips for professional section, affiliations, only those that are current. Most current is supposed to be first. And include all dates of the affiliation. Note any leadership positions because those are really important. Leadership positions, activity past and present both. They can again most current one first and जो आपकी academic research से सबसे ज़्यादा related है वो लिखे हैं आप activities में and then should be school or university sponsored and include your role in it obviously कि अगर आपने volunteer work किया है तो आपने beach clean up किया है yeah if you're a volunteer write that role down so yeah be specific. And then tips for research wala section. ठीक है. Again, list most current one first. ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद make sure you indicate others that you worked with. अगर आपने collaboration की research में, do not write your name down only. आप अपने साथ जिनके साथ आपने collaborate किया उनके भी नाम लिखें. ठीक है. और जो भी आपको grant funds मिले वो लिखें आप और यहाँ पे briefly describe कर देगा. ठीक है. देन पब्लिकेशन एंड प्रेजेंटेशन का सेक्शन है उसमें ओके सो पब्लिकेशन और सेक्शन के सेक्शन में दो ऑप्शन होते हैं फॉर लिस्टिंग. एक आप ऑर्डर ऑफ पब्लिकेशन में कर सकते हो, एक मोस्ट रीसेंट वाला भी कर सकते हो. ऑलवेज बोल्ड योर नेम इन द ऑथरशिप. ठीक है. Because you want your work to get credit and आप pending publications या submitted publications दोनों आप कर सकते हैं highlight अपनी CV में. And then presentations may be large or small but pertinent enough to talk about. अगर छोटी भी हैं but they're like very you can say very important, very valuable, then include that. Large can be included. It depends on how valuable that certain presentation once was, so you can mention it down. All right. Have copies of your pubs or presentation for the life of your CV. ठीक है. ताकि आपकी थोड़ा सा वो रहे एक एविडेंस आ रहे. ओके. Then we move forward. Added qualification section should be verifiable. ठीक है कि अच्छा आपने ये किया है, आपकी क्वालिफिकेशन है तो कहीं से जाके वेरीफाई कर सकते हैं. आपकी लैंग्वेज फ्लुएंसी आप भी कर सकते हैं. इफ यू नो उर्दू, आपको अच्छा उर्दू के अलावा आपको सिंधी आती है, आपको पंजाबी आती है, नो ऑल ऑफ दैट. एंड अगर आपको से अरबिक आती है, ऑल ऑफ दैट इंक्लूड ऑल ऑफ दैट. एंड इफ यू नो हाउ टू राइट दैट. बट इफ यू नो ओनली हाउ टू स्पीक, राइट दैट. लाइक अपनी वो फ्लुएंसी डिस्क्राइब कर लिया. You can speak, you can write, you can, all of that. You can fluency of don't write it down as write, you can speak or you can talk, all of that, but you can write it in terms of beginner, proficient, and fluent. ठीक है, ये तीन आप ले सकते हैं levels and then you can describe your fluency in it. And then cultural knowledge भी आप डाल सकते हैं. I just say for example, I don't know if it should be valuable again. It's a maybe. Okay. So if you have something and hands-on experience in the cultural knowledge, like अगर आपने पता नहीं, for example, you say if you went to Hunza, or if you went to the northern areas and you did um something there, you worked, you volunteered something there, and you got to know a lot of about the culture, so you can include the cultural knowledge that you may have about a village or something. But that's a maybe, it's only one, it's valuable, and anything else that's special, you can include that. Okay. um okay. Oh, so these are the do's for your CV. Use a standardized font size in black ink. ठीक है आपकी pink वगैरह, I know these colors seem cute, pink, green, all of that. I like to decorate a lot of my documents as well, but here we're not decorating, or we're not becoming a graphic designer. We need to be professional, so it's, you should use a black ink. And include recent and relevant work experience, ठीक है, and be consistent in your layout. Again, I've mentioned that before. List your skills, achievements, and back it up with evidence. ताकि doubt ना cast हो. Keep it short. Maximum 2 pages, but it's preferred to keep it at 1 page. Okay. And use positive words to get, these are the lists that's put in. Okay. You should use all of these positive ones. Let me just put a laser. I think it'll be easier for you guys. Use positive words, organized, delivered, accomplished, achieved, all of these. And include a statement about your career aspirations and what you have to offer to the employer. Take a statement, but this should not be too long. आप बस एक statement बताएं कि अच्छा, I want to do this and that, I want to do this for your company and everything. Be honest, but be positive. You do not want them to thinking anything negative about you, ठीक है? Uh, okay. So proofread for spelling, punctuation, grammar, and meaning, because obviously you don't want them to think that you're unprofessional, and get someone to check it for you. Take a recheck and get it rechecked honestly, and then get feedback and change it accordingly. Once you read it, you find it nice, but आपके लिए किसी और ने feedback देगी, that's valuable and it helps. Feedback helps. Don't rush it. Okay. These are the don'ts. Do not rush it, or don't leave out gaps in your employment. अगर बीच में आपका कोई gap आ गया था किसी वजह से, just highlight that. Do not lie, because पीछे से background check में they can always find that lie. Maybe you can get blacklisted. Sorry. Okay, so don't lie and use relevant personal details, such as don't use irrelevant marital uh, details, such as marital status, because that's got nothing for you to do in your professional life. And then afterwards, okay, 1 second. This has glitched. The presentation has glitched. Okay, it started working again. Um, okay. So yeah, don't be irrelevant, be straight to the point, and yeah, be professional. आगे, simply write a list of your duties under your work experience. They need to know your leadership positions, and you're selling yourself. अगर आप एक leader हो, that's always gonna make yourself look a good person, a good professional person. Use a flashy or large font. There's no simple way to don't use this flashy or large font, ठीक है? Just be consistent. 12 पे है तो 12 पे ही रखें, ज़्यादा don't be decorative as much. I like to be decorative, but that's unprofessional. In professional lines, you're supposed to be professional and simple. Okay, there's no single way to write a CV. It is your document and can be structured and presented as you wish within a basic framework. हल्का सा, I would just like to say there's हल्की सी decorating हो सकती है, that you can add a little bit of color to make it a little, attractive, but don't make it too flashy. I'm gonna show you a sample. Usme like people use like blue thoda sa in one section, but that still looks professional. It does not look flashy, not decorative. It looks professional. You'll get to know what I mean. The important thing to remember is that this is the first impression an employer will have of you. If it is your marketing brochure through which you are trying to sell yourself. So make it as attractive as you can with words, not with decorative material. All right. And okay. This is a reference that we kind of use some information from. And that is the end of the slide. I'm going to review some of the questions that you guys may have. Um, Okay, someone asked, what if we have like e-certificates of some volunteer works and presentations? I mean, always you can always mention the volunteer work and presentations that agar aapko lag raha hai ki acha, it's very valuable, then yeah, just mention it down. I don't think you should put the link to your certificate whatsoever. You can, but it is worthy to mention if it's something. It depends on the volunteer work that you have done. It depends on the presentation that you have done. If it's on a very good scale, if it's a very good one, then yeah, do mention it. That's totally fine. In education sector, do we need to include our currently enrolled in the most recent completely enrolled? Sure. You can definitely in the master's program that you've not finished, right? ये लिखें, for example, if I'm doing my master's from LUMS, चलो ठीक है, if I'm doing my master's from LUMS, मैंने किया था start 2022 में, मेरा graduating batch होगा kind of like 2026, I don't know. So अगर graduating batch 2026 है but we're still in 2024, तो आप लिखें 2022 till present लिख लें वहाँ पे. So they know that you've not graduated yet, you're still doing it. All right. I'm going to show you guys a sample if I can find it. Give me a second. oops, I was unmute. Anyway, this is an example that I have, and I would definitely recommend this website. It's called Flow CV. It's free, and you can go and I'm just gonna type it in the chat box. Um, I've talked to a lot of people, and they professional people, and they use this a website called Flow CV to make their website to make their CV, sorry. And in this मैं जो कह रही थी ना, थोड़ा सा color use कर सकते हैं. अब आप देख सकते हैं ये color use हुआ हुआ है, but it still looks very professional, this entire CV. ठीक है, and it's one page, it's very concise. अगर किसी employer को जाके professional experience देखना है, तो they can just go and look here, the things that they've done, the education that they've had, and the skills that they have, all of that. Awards यहाँ side में डाले हुए हैं उन्होंने. Languages देखें आप. अच्छा, this is one way to rate your language barrier. ठीक है, कि अगर आपको स्पेनिश आती है लेकिन कितनी proficient है आप उसमें. So you can just highlight that by this 5 star 5 dot thing. Okay, you can tell them how proficient, like how fluent you are in a specific um language. Profile may this person talked about their passion, about the job they're looking for, what they aspire to be. So you can include all of that here. And this is basic information that everyone should 100% have. ठीक है? I know you guys have seen a lot of CVs that are, very simple, black and white. But honestly, from the people that I've talked to in like finance and whatnot fields, ठीक है, they are saying that those CVs are like now kind of like becoming थोड़ा सा outdated. So a lot of people are using this kind of template as well, flow CV वाला, ठीक है. So you can use that. Let me stop sharing, and I'm going to show you more CV के template. I think this kind of CV was the kind of CV that was very much in like, it was very popular. Like a lot of people use. मेरी भी अभी CV जो बनी हुई है ना, इसी template की बनी हुई है. ठीक है. I want to the flow CV वाली. I know someone who's using it. उन्होंने मुझे recommend की थी because they recently got a job, so they recommended me from flow CV. So I'm gonna अभी मैं कुछ ही दिनों में उसको उसके through अपनी CV बनाऊंगी. But I think this was a very conventional cliche type of layout that a lot of people have. Name, their basic details, their summary skills, their history and education, just everything. So all of that. ठीक है, and then we have this template थोड़ा सा blue use हो रहा है. It's becoming a little interesting, but I feel like can someone point out what they think is going wrong here a little? Anyone? Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna answer it myself. Basically, I feel like एक तो उन्होंने बहुत बड़े-बड़े text use किए हुए हैं, that's gonna kind of yeah, exactly. Someone said too long and messy. So it does look a little unarranged, like disorganized, right? So, I mean, at first glance, I'm like, oh, there's too much happening here, too much information. It's not clear and concise for me. I'm gonna be like, oh, too much, right? So be clear, be concise, be organized. ज़्यादा बड़े-बड़े एक तो there's this one big text, then there's another, and then there's another, and then there's another. एक तो इन्होंने देखिए consistency बहुत ही खत्म की हुई है. There's like a huge text and then a smaller text and then like there's like very less consistency happening here. So make sure this is consistent. Make sure कुछ ज़्यादा font types नहीं use कर रहे हैं. Make sure your sentences are not way too long. ठीक है, वरना boring हो जाता है. And yeah, be organized. when you're just looking at it, you should not be overwhelmed by the amount of information on your CV. And someone said, Sidra said, parallel sections. I think parallel sections are fine. Oh, wait, let me show you something. Um, Parallel sections, once again. Uh, Here we have this. I really liked this one. All right, it had parallel sections, and I liked it because it looked very organized to me. Like I could find अगर मुझे देखना था अच्छा ये बंदा किस university से I could just directly go here. I know where to find everything, and it's very organized, very professional looking, and I kind of really liked it. It did not. It also did not look a lot messy to me. So all of that. Is it necessary to add high school education? Is it necessary to add high school education? Well, in this presentation, we did say that high school education आप add करे. ठीक है, just add your you know high school there if you want to, but आपके जो सारे awards होते हैं, everything, don't add all of that in. All right, don't add high school awards. You can just merely mention high school, but don't go in detail. I don't get by the Tamina, can you tell me what add the summary in key points and we don't go for paragraphs? Do you mean summary of the high school? If you're talking about the summary of the high school, just stay concise and don't use irrelevant information. Mostly employers just look for your education in undergrad, grad school and everything. High school does not really matter. So don't go in detail for that. And if you don't even want to include your high school, just like इसमें भी देखे हम, इसमें उन्होंने, they did include their high school. So if you don't want to include your high school, then that's fine too. Oh, key points. I think key points are good too, but I've mostly seen as a summary, like a paragraph summary. So, but I think key points would be good too. I'm not sure. I think they can, at the end of the day, a CV is for you. A CV is what you think is best for you. ठीक है, you want to sell yourself. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आपके 3 points बहुत अलग अलग हैं, they're not connected to each other, ठीक है, तो use key points. But if you want to connect your points very well, अगर आपको you know you want to connect it, आप एक sentence को दूसरे से relate कर रहे हैं, तो go for a paragraph. I think a lot of the passionate sides, अगर आप like किसी चीज में passionate हो, अगर आप बता रहे हो कि I'm like I want to be this, I want to be that, I think उसमें paragraph you relate one thing to another, right? So I think go for a paragraph. Most people do go for a paragraph, but yeah, if you think key points work for you, then you can go for that too. ठीक है, अब these are more like CV samples we have here. Name, their designation, क्या अभी currently वो क्या है, ठीक है, and their basic things. And यहाँ पे देखिए उन्होंने यहाँ पे points नहीं use किए हैं, but they've like made it into two paragraphs. Like उन्होंने कहा अच्छा ये वाला paragraph is related to something and this another paragraph is related to something. I think the first paragraph is about them, where they lived and everything, and the second paragraph is about their professional side. So yeah. And education आ गया आपका इसमें. Honestly, someone asked about the high school वाला thing. इसमें देखिए उन्होंने secondary high education डाली हुई है, right? We have this one here, इसमें भी they've put their high school. So I think you should put your high school in. And education, high school education is really important to put in, I guess. But there are times that it depends on company to company as well, how much they value high school education as well. But in most cases, we would recommend you putting high school education as it was suggested in the presentation as well. It depends on you to अगर बहुत ज़्यादा overload information हो रही है आपकी CV पे, then you can ignore it if you want. So yeah, they have skills here. They have these languages. Language comes in skills, so you can put that there. Additional work experience, all of that. यहाँ पे they've like, again, I think this is Flow CV again, and यहाँ पे they've like put in their paragraph. It's almost like everything requires like the same information. Should I include 1 day or 4 day extra to show some subject? Yeah, you can totally. Yeah, you can add that. You can add that. Sidra, you can add that, Sidra. Yeah. I think these are the samples. You can go ahead, take screenshots, review them if you want. देखिए नीचे इन्होंने इस वाले में there's this extra thing here. They've included their recommendation. Do you see the format here? Like they put the name, they put the designation, the email, and the remark that they got recommendation. ठीक है, you can include that as well. And yeah, I think that is all. If you guys have any other questions, do let us know.
So if nobody has any question, we should end this meeting. And still, if you have any query, you can ask in the discussion room.
Yeah, some people have questions in the chat box, so I'm just gonna look ahead.
Okay. Yes, yes, you can
Yeah.
answer.
Okay. Sidra, I'm previously looking at the old questions. So Sidra mentioned that never include your marital status and the number of the kids that you have in your professional CV. Just suggestion. Honestly, I think do not include that. Okay, the marital status, yeah, maybe you can include that, but don't include the number of kids. That's got nothing to do with your professional life. In the samples that we had, right, all of the samples that we looked into, none of them had marital status and the number of kids. So I would also recommend don't put that there. Take it, put your gender, put your nationality, but don't put your what do you call it, the marital status and number of kids. That's irrelevant per se. Is LinkedIn profile link necessary to add in one CV? It's good if you add it because it shows the number of connections you have. It also like kind of um links, like one can access your LinkedIn and can see like the progress that you've made, right? So it's good that if you want to include it, I would recommend that you do include it. All right. Most people do include it, include your email as well. Yeah. Snowball. CV looks so boring. A lot of people have that. Don't worry, you're not alone. ठीक है, हर किसी के पास publications, research, projects, awards नहीं होते. A good GPA is amazing. Try getting an award through it, all right? And internships is a really good experience that you have, all right? It also depends on the field that you have. ठीक है, if you have a research-based field, if you're in a research-based field, then do get into internships, ठीक है? And no, sorry, not internships. Do get into like collaborative projects and everything, and make a research paper. it's not too late for you. Take a start a research paper, and you can include that from this date to this date you currently in the process of doing it. So, make it interesting. It's never too late. I think CGPA would be irrelevant, I guess, but let me wait. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna look into some samples and everything. I didn't personally include my GPA, but yeah, that's the thing. If you have a good one, if you have a good CGPA, I think you should go ahead and add it. Like, agar aap, like, you're in this university, then you can just brackets where you can just mention it there that you have this CV, no CV, um, CGPA. Yeah, sure. You can text in the group and we can review it for you. Or if you're Snowbird, if you're field is biotech, then definitely do research. Okay? Cold email your professors, cold email, जाके आप Google पे जाएं, all of the universities that you like, even abroad, honestly, मैंने भी यही किया था, abroad की भी universities में जाके whatever field you have, whatever university you like, उसके professor को जाके stalk करें, not even kidding, stalk them, email them, call them and tell them कि अच्छा मुझे ये आप अभी इस project पे काम कर रहे हैं, you are concentrated in this field, I'd like to research with you and get that experience, get that research experience, and gain awards. Be a very, like, honestly, I think once you start doing research, आपके awards खुद ब खुद आते रहते हैं. First, focus on gaining experience. Then, as you gain experience, then you gain, like, expertise. और साथ साथ आपको awards मिलते जाते हैं. ठीक है? Do everything you're doing with full dedication, and with that, awards will come in, experience will come in. But yeah, put in your effort and gain your extracurriculars. It's never too late. Especially, I think, Snowbird, you're like an undergrad student. 100% you have time, so don't worry about it. Just keep building your CV. And thank you so much for answering all the queries. Don't worry. Uh, we're here for you, honestly. If you have any questions, we're here for you. Anyone else has any more questions? If not, we can wrap it up here. Okay, guys, it was great doing this presentation and answering your questions. I loved how, curious all of you were. Um, and yeah, I hope you guys make an amazing CV, get amazing professional experiences. And yeah, I think that is all from my side. And I had a great time also answering your questions. Hope you guys also learned a lot from today's session. And yeah, goodbye, everyone.
Thank you so much, for such an amazing session, and goodbye. Okay, students, you can leave the meeting and see you in tomorrow's session. Allah Hafiz.